Hello, this is Svetlana of Breathe Yoga and Wellness Center. I am so pleased to offer you complimentary yoga and meditation classes while we are closed during this extraordinary period we are all living through. Please join me in expressing gratitude to our teachers who have volunteered their time to bring you these classes.
Hi, my name is Emma and I'm with Breathe Yoga and Wellness Center, and this video is targeted for truck drivers, and it's just a very, very small token of our appreciation for all of the work that you're doing, probably long extra shifts these days to deliver the much needed food and goods across the province and country during this time of COVID-19. So we're so thankful that you're doing that for us, and as I said, this is just a small token of our appreciation. This is a video targeted to work on some stretches around your neck and shoulders where you're probably feeling quite a bit of tension into the hips, calves, and ankles. I'm wearing shoes on the assumption that you too will be wearing shoes, but if you're wearing work boots for this, that's going to be fine as well. So whatever you got on your feet for stability is totally fine. The only other thing is that when we're doing the hip work, if you're feeling at all unbalanced, then please feel free to be standing next to a wall or even the side of your truck for stability. But just a reminder, of course, afterwards, if you have used anything, to please wash your hands with soap and water, or use hand sanitizer if you do need to touch anything. So let's begin. Let's start with the neck. So I want you to just bring your chin in towards your chest and just start to feel a stretch through the back of the neck, potentially into your shoulders as well. And just a note that during any of these exercises, if you already have existing numbness, tingling, loss of sensation in your hands, fingers, or into the forearms, if any of these exercises make that feel worse, please just back off or stop the exercise altogether and just join us for the next one. And then you're going to slowly start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. So just feeling a little bit more of a stretch through the left side. Good, and then bring that chin back in towards center again. And then let that left ear roll over towards the left shoulder. Nice. And then come on back in towards center, and then slowly bring your head up towards center. Let's start to make some circles with the shoulders. So let's start with bringing the shoulders forwards, up, and back. So you're making circles in this direction. Doesn't matter how big your circles are. If it feels good, then you can really exaggerate it, really bring them forward, bring them up, and then really squeeze the shoulder blades together during the back part. Let's just do a couple more in this direction. And then go the opposite way. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, bring the shoulders up, forwards. A couple like that. Good. And then let your arms just rest down by your side. Give your arms a little shake out here. You're going to stay standing. I'm just going to come down to my knees so that you can see this a little bit more centered. You're going to start with the right arm, and you're just going to bring that right arm forward. So I'm just reaching it straight forwards, thumb up. And then you're going to reach up towards the ceiling. So my arm is straight. Some of you might have a bend. Doesn't matter. The range is coming from the shoulder, though, not from your back. So just making sure that you're not arching through your back. It's just the shoulder that's moving. And then bring that arm back forwards, and bring it down, and then reach it back this time. As you reach it back, you might feel those muscles between the shoulder blades again, seeing ones that we just had squeezing in with our shoulder circles. Good, and then bring that arm down by your side, and give it a little shake out. Left arm, so straight forwards, and then reach it up. So same thing, just moving from this joint. My torso is staying centered. I'm not moving through the spine, just moving the shoulder. Good, and then reach it forwards, reach it down, and this time you're going to reach straight back. Nice little shake out. Right arm, you're going to bend it at the elbow. So you're just going to tuck that elbow in at your side and have your fingertips pointing straight forwards. You're going to keep that elbow glued in as you just start to open the forearm. Just take a look down. For a lot of us, the wrist will start to bend. You have the sensation that there's movement at the shoulder. So just make sure that you're keeping a straight line from your elbow to your fingertips. And then come on back into center. Let's do that one more time. Reach it open. Reach it forwards and let it go. Give it another little shake out. Bend that left elbow, so elbow glued in at the side. And then just open that forearm. Take a peek down. Make sure the wrist isn't moving. That it's just a straight line from elbow to fingertips. And then bring it back forwards. Open it up. Good. Bring it back forwards. Bring it down. You can give it a little shake out. So you're still standing. I'm just going to come back up to standing to join you. So we're going to do a little bit of work with the hips. So you're going to take your feet hip distance apart. Take your hands onto your hips. And it's going to be like a warm up for a dance move here. We're just going to start to take circles with the hips. So whichever direction feels more normal for you, start in that direction. So if there's any discomfort in the low back, then just make your circles smaller, or maybe just sway from side to side. But if you can't make the circles, continue on with those circles, and then change directions when you're ready. Good. And then come on back to center. We're going to keep the feet hip distance apart. You're going to keep your hands on your hips, and you're just going to bend your knees as if you're coming to sit on a bar stool. And then as you start to come up, so as we come towards standing, I want you to really squeeze your bum, your glute muscles, and use those to come back up to standing. So it should feel like your hips want to come forwards when you really squeeze those glutes. So let's sink back again as if we're coming back onto that imaginary stool, and then up. Good. Let's do it a couple more times. Sink it back, and really squeeze and straighten. Nice. Sink it back. So after sitting for so long, it's really hard to activate these glute bum muscles. So really starting to warm them up. Good. And then soften those glute muscles. So you're coming to a little bit of a lunge here. So this is where, if you feel unbalanced, you might want to have a wall or the side of your truck next to you. I'm going to start with the right foot forward, left foot back. So not a big distance between your feet to begin with, maybe just about 2 lengths of my feet between right now. And then we're going to keep both heels on the floor, especially that back heel, and you're just going to bend both of your knees and straighten. So this is going to feel like a stretch through that back left calf muscle because we're keeping the heel on the floor. Let's just do that a couple more times. Nice. And straighten. Good. And we're going to widen that stride, that back left foot coming back a little bit. Now you're going to come up onto the toes of that back left foot. And we're going to take a slight bend of that back left knee. And we're just going to take little tilts of the hips. So take your hands onto your waist, and with your fingers on your hip bones, you'll be able to feel the movement. So we're going to bring those hip bones forwards and up towards our face, and then we're going to feel them come back and down towards the floor. So if it's more helpful, if that works for you, then just keep going. If it's helpful to think about your tailbone instead, then you're going to think about your tailbone coming forwards and through, kind of like a scared dog posture, and then your tail lifting back behind you. So just a couple more of those tilts. Good, and then come on back to center. Let's lengthen the stride just a little bit more, so that left leg back behind you. You've got a wall if you need it. We're still up on the toes on that left side, and we're just going to take a slight bend of that left knee. We're just going to stay here. So getting a stretch through the back of the leg into the calf area, but also just working on balance of staying stable here, keeping the hips stable. Let's take one more breath here, and then you're gonna slowly step forwards, and then give the legs a little walk out. Good. So we're gonna switch sides now. So the left foot's gonna be forward, right foot's gonna be back. So starting off with that slightly shorter stride, the feet slightly separated away from each other. Both of the heels on the floor, and just take a little bit of a bend of the knees and straighten. So that back right heel is staying on the floor. Bend and straighten and bend and straighten. Good. Slightly longer strides, just stepping that left leg back a little bit more. Slight bend of that back right knee. Front left knee is bent as well. Hands onto your hips. Find those little tilts of the pelvis. So either using your fingers on your hip bones as your guide, or thinking about your tailbone. Good. Do just a couple more of those. Nice. Slightly longer stride, still up on the toes on that back right foot. Slight bend of that knee, just standing here. Left knee is bent. Good. So getting a stretch, as well as working on the stability of the hips. Good. And then come on back to center. Give the legs a little walk out. So just a little bit of work on the ankles. So feet are still going to be hip distance apart. Start with the right foot. You're just going to lift the right heel, come up onto the right toes, and drop that heel down, and then switch sides. So we're just getting the lower legs to kind of pump for us. So really good to get some ankle movement, since the range of motion that you guys are using is this action of pressing the pedals of the truck. So just trying to get a little bit of a different movement happening here. If this feels okay, you can actually make this a little bit more advanced by coming up with both feet together. But totally up to you. If it feels better to just do one leg at a time, do that. If this feels okay to come up on both of your toes at the same time. Good. Each time might be a little bit different. You might be able to come up a tiny bit higher, or you might feel a little bit wobbly and stay a little lower, or just go back to the opposite. Nice. Let's keep this stance, hip distance. Just come up onto those right toes, and we're just going to take circles of that ankle. Doesn't matter which direction you go in. So if you're wearing steel-toed boots, you might not have quite as much range. So you're just trying to move the heel around, staying on the toes, and then going in the opposite direction. Good. And then come on back down. Switch back over to that left foot, circling. Good, and then circling the other way. Nice. So then come on back to center. Give those legs a little walk out. Give the little arms another little shake out. Give the hips another little swirl. Give those shoulders another couple of circles and shrugs. And then give everything a little shake out. Good. Perfect. So again, thank you so much for all that you're doing. So this can be done either before a shift, during a break, as we've called it, a pit stop, pick me up, or after a shift. It really doesn't matter when you do this. It's just great to try to move around a little bit. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is just a very small token of our appreciation for all of the work that you're doing. So thank you very much. Stay safe. Keep your family safe, and we'll get through this soon together.